Would you rather eat chocolate that tastes like poop or poop that tastes like chocolate? Welcome back to Corey the Pawn Guy. We are here with a special guest today, Daniel Jaynes, owner of Pawtucket Pawn Too in Fall River. Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
First, what I would like to do is maybe get a little bit of a background on Pawtucket Pawn Too.
Okay. So my folks opened it up in 1993. My father was originally a pharmacist that he didn't get to see my sister and I so often, so we wanted to kind of find a job that wasn't overnight, because as a pharmacist, you're working overnight those hours. So my uncle and his partner, Bobby, actually opened up a store named Pawtucket Pawn in Rhode Island. And they opened this one in Fall River. And since then, it's my sister and I kind of grabbed on. I actually went to school for psychology, but I just love this whole business. I love the psychology aspect of it. And now it's transitioned into my sister and I taking over, and here we are.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that there is probably a lot of psychology that goes into dealing with the customers. Sometimes people are in like a tough situation and you have to kind of maneuver that by being a business, and obviously you're out to make money, but you have customers that you do care about, and you want to take care of them. So let's dig in now into something that I think a lot of people find interesting, which is what is like the highest valued item that you've taken in at Pawtucket Pawn Too?
The largest valued item you talking the largest loan or the largest single item I've taken in?
Let's go with the largest single item.
I think it would be the first edition Spider-Man comic book graded. It was valued at, I want to say, around $100,000. It's been a great customer of mine, very unique customer, as you can tell. I mean, who has these kind of items?
Right.
But that by far is the single, one item, most expensive.
Did you end up with that item, or you don't have to give out any, specific information. You don't still have it, or did you sell it at auction?
No, we still have it. It's been one of my best clients in the last 10 years.
Awesome.
He uses me to bridge the gap to one of his shows, or businesses kind of get their money back in. Mm-hmm. They pay me off. It's been a cycle.
Have you read the first edition?
I have not. It's sealed.
I gotta imagine he might not be one of your best customers any longer if you cracked it open.
Yeah, he wouldn't be too fond of me. He would not be too fond of me.
All right. What would you say? I mean, that's kind of, I guess that would kind of go along with it, as that's a pretty cool item. I was going to ask you, what's the coolest item you've taken in? That's pretty cool, though.
So it's definitely cool. This client has actually brought me a bunch of very cool, unique merchandise. But it's funny, I'm married, and while I was getting introduced to my wife, her folks would always be so enamored with this business. Like, what is the craziest thing you've taken in? What is the most high value item you've taken in? And it's funny, I mean, you being in this business as well, what is obscure to them is almost normal to me now, because I see it every single day. But the most bizarre item that I've taken in, not the most bizarre, but a pretty cool item, is, you've seen the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey? The Cuban Pete scene when he takes over the cops and he's doing the dance.
Oh, yeah.
They call him Cuban Pete. We have
I didn't know that was his name, but yeah.
We have that.
Awesome every day.
Movie prop actually worn by Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The
with
mask
the COA.
itself?
No, it's the whole getup. It's the whole costume when he is Cuban Pete. It's like the whole wardrobe, not the mask.
So you took it in?
Yes.
And it was picked up?
Yeah.
Or was it not picked up?
No, it was picked up.
Because for me personally, if that thing didn't get picked up, I'm rocking that thing around.
100%. Yeah. 100%. It wouldn't be sold. I would have kept it here.
Yeah.
I've been wearing it as my wardrobe here.
How could you not?
Absolutely.
I'm the king of a rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go chick, chicky, boom, chick, chicky, boom.
So, working at the pawn shop, I've made a ton of mistakes. I've had a a lot of money go out to people that probably shouldn't have gotten it with what they've brought in. Do you have anything that sticks out that you've taken in that you probably shouldn't have, or it was broken or whatever it is?
So I've taken a lot of those. And if you want to go back to the psychology aspect of it, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but I think I'm pretty good. Like my screw ups to successes on those is like 90% success. I usually like to read the person to see if I think I ask the necessary questions. I almost treat it like it's a game of chess. Are they going to come back or not? But to answer your question, I've had a few screw ups, but the largest screw up that I have had was a Hublot watch. But if you want to turn that around, it's actually been one of my best investments in a bizarre story. And here's why. Long story short, this was maybe 8 years ago, and I was still kind of fresh in this business. I didn't know so much, but I didn't have a lot of resources to this business. I thought I knew everything. I thought like I was this young hotshot in this business that look on eBay, look on Google, figure it out. That was a humbling experience, and that was my largest loss, but I was put in touch with a connection of mine that has helped me tenfold. I'm talking made me a lot more money than that screw up. So it's been glass half full wise, a great return on my investment because I was introduced to someone that has helped me 50 times over because of that. So turn the negative to a positive.
I like that. That's good. I wish that all my mess ups turned into positives.
I didn't say all of them like that, Corey. I didn't say all of them, but my largest one has turned into a very big positive. I will say that.
All right. So there's a game that I'd like to introduce to Corey the Pawn Guy interviews where, a huge part of the industry now is online and reviews.
Sure.
So as an owner of a business, some of your day is going to be spent responding to reviews online. I want to read you some reviews. They're not actual reviews.
Okay.
But I want to know how you would respond to these people if this review was left under the Google Pawtucket Pawn Too reviews. I'm going to preface this by saying I've run through these a couple times, and I can't do them without channeling the reviewer.
Okay.
So don't get thrown off if
I got you.
If I'm giving Pawtucket Pawn Too 4 out of 5 stars. I went in today to pick up my loan. Everybody was friendly, and the place looked great. The reason I can't give 5 stars is because the gentleman who was helping me, I think his name was Dan, was a little too friendly, if you know what I mean. I may be a touch over 80, but I still know when I'm being hit on.
I first would say thank you so much for trusting me with your valuables. Appreciate everything. And I would respond as Dan, as the owner. I wouldn't have someone else do it by saying, I apologize if you took my kindness for coming on to you. That was not my intention. I do apologize. Hope you weren't uncomfortable, but I hope you come back to me. And thank you so much for your business.
I think that was a great response.
Thank you.
That was good.
I think your accent was tremendous too, by the way.
Thank you. There's more to come.
Not surprised.
1 out of 5 stars. This is ridiculous. I just left the store and I will never be back. I know for a fact that my collection of Justin Guarini memorabilia has a ton of worth. I mean, if it wasn't for that bitch Kelly Clarkson, he would have been the winner of the first season of American Idol. America messed up, and so did Pawtucket Pawn Too. Now they won't get to set their eyes on my Clay Aiken stuff.
First off, I would speak to my employees. If it was me, I would obviously know how to respond, but I would speak to the employee that this customer was engaged with. I'd get the full background of the situation, and I would simply respond by saying, I appreciate you coming here. Understand one thing about memorabilia. There's no fixed value. It is worth what someone's going to pay for it. And in my market, my distressed market, especially with memorabilia, that's not local sports, it's a very hard move. As much as I would love to own it and try to sell it, it's hard to give a price on something with no fixed amount. We went to eBay, we tried to search some similar comps, and we couldn't find anything. So I do apologize, but again, we hope you trust us with something else when you come across something.
You are good. You are good. That's impressive. I mean, this is on the spot. You've not heard these reviews before, so
No.
this is impressive.
Thank you.
I guess I'll give Pawtucket Pawn Too 3 out of 5 stars. They gave me a great deal on my TV. Beautiful 60-inch Samsung Plasma that I had my eye on for a few days. The owner, Daniel, said it was his personal TV, so I would have 0 problems. But when I got home, there was an image of Wes from the Real World Road Rules Challenge burned onto the screen, which obviously bothered me because everybody knows Johnny Bananas was the best.
First off, I'm so happy that you came to me because my favorite character is Wes on the show, hands down. I do apologize for the situation. I don't know how that happened, but we do offer a 14-day warranty. So if you do have that issue, please, if it's in that, you know what, I take that back. Even if it surpasses this 14-day warranty, bring it back. I'll give you your money back. But I thank you for coming in here.
So this last one might be more difficult than the other ones.
Okay.
This is a person of very few words. They didn't give you a rating of stars. They just wrote scumbags.
To me, these are the most difficult ones to respond to. First off, when I see these kind of reviews, and I'm pretty happy with this. I don't think we've ever had one of those. But first I would do, because I'm so confident that wouldn't happen here, I would check back. First off, if anything crazy happened in the last week, to all my employees, did anyone get upset, anyone get loud? And if I did find out that something happened, I would simply respond as the owner, saying, I'm so sorry you had a bad situation here. That really never happens. You can see from our reputation and reviews that it's very few and far between. I would love to hear more. Come on in and we'll talk about it. But I do apologize for your unsettling and unhappy experience here.
I can't help but think that you aced this portion of the reviews of Corey the Pawn Guy interview. It's the first one we've done. I think it's going to be tough to beat.
I appreciate that,
I really
Corey.
think so.
And it's true, too. I think that's how I would respond to every one. I was off the cuff and just, I try to get my emotion aside before I respond to these, if it's positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ever respond emotionally, I mean, think of what we were like growing up. I mean, when you respond emotionally, if you're angry or even happy, it doesn't come out correct. I mean, even speaking with my employees, if something happens, I usually wait a day to speak with them.
I think that's an awesome policy to have. And I looked through all of your reviews on every single site. I also didn't see any of that. Most of the reviews were positive. So you're right. You have a great rating on there. So
actually, I want to correct you. I think all are great, but thank you.
There were a couple in there that.
It's not good to bring that up.
But,
okay.
But I mean, you're a pawn shop, so people
Agreed.
come in with negative thoughts already before they even get through the door. So if you're a pawn shop and you don't have any negative reviews, you're fake.
100%.
A fake business it's not possible to do.
People that come to us are in a very, very vulnerable situation. And if you don't understand that, you're in the wrong business. I mean, some people say a pawnbroker with a heart is a pawnbroker that's out of business. Completely disagree with that.
I'm going to show you something now that you're probably very familiar with, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it. So I'm going to show you while we're showing you. We'll show everybody out there at the same time. Let's see here.
Is this like word association? Am I going to respond the minute I see something? Like
No.
an ink block?
No,
Psychology test? Okay.
I'm gonna make you watch something that you've probably watched 100 times, and then I would like for you to tell people kind of what you were thinking. Maybe this is something that you're proud of. I don't know.
Got gold? Don't sell your gold here, but loan your gold. We have a special promotion interest rate right now that is so affordable. Only a family pawn shop can do that.
This isn't a show. This is the real deal. We consider ourselves a one-stop money shop.
Just making you happy, giving you the money you need when you need it.
We're the real Pawn Stars.
Pawtucket Pawn Brokers too. We're here for you. Got gold?
All right, so you guys just watched that.
I'm sorry, by the way.
We all do things that in our past we think is a really good idea, and it's like seems cool. And then I have a couple videos out there that are like that. You can watch them if you'd like. But later on in life, if you wear, maybe you were younger, you wore like Jenko jeans, and like now you're like, oh, I wish I didn't wear those Jenkos. You could be very happy with how this came out and still want to promote it. Or it could be your Jenko jeans. So how do you feel about it?
First off, I apologize for you guys watching that. So to what you said, to expand on that, at the time, Pawn Stars was huge. The show on I believe it's National History Channel. I think that revolutionized our industry, actually. I think that showed a lot of positive for this business, because I think the old stigma is if a pawnbroker is making money, we're ripping the consumer off, which, like any business, if there's a need for it, you're allowed to make money. Having said that, that video at the time, I think, was appropriate with the times. I haven't seen it in many years. Looking back at it, I'm not proud of it, but it worked. My slogan caught on to that, to Got Gold, as you can see from my shirt. That we're giving these out free, by the way. If you ever want to stop in, gladly give it to you.
I feel like I'm going to do a shirt.
Done. But the video is definitely like one of those things you get uncomfortable to watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to your Jenko jeans comment, I still don't know what Jenko jeans are.
Okay, well, you might have to look it up afterwards.
I may. It was interesting, but it worked. Got the point across. I mean, would I do that now? Absolutely not. But back then, I'm happy we did it.
Maybe you would do it with a little more Dan flair to it.
Well, I think so. It's funny. My producer of the commercial said he wanted a positive kind of comedic turn of it, because he didn't want it to be so positive. I mean, we're kind of doing a spin-off on a show that came with its like a lot of people either loved it or hated it. We wanted to do a comedic spin on it.
Well, I feel like he crushed that then, because it's still comedic to this day. But
the problem is it comedic because you're making fun of us, or is it comedic because it works?
I feel like I'm laughing with you. Maybe,
Okay,
maybe not.
Okay.
But either way,
At least you're honest.
Again, I have my own videos, so I can't really talk trash in this situation. I just wanted to get.
So we did 3 different
thoughts
videos
there.
of that same
If
situation.
if you go onto YouTube and you search up Pawtucket Pawn Too in Fall River, I didn't want to show you guys here because other people didn't really want it shown. But there may or may not be an outtake session that's a little.
There's definitely an outtake.
But if you get some free time, I'd love for you to stay on my channel and keep watching more interviews. But if you want to pop off for a second, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. It's worth the watch.
All right. Now we're gonna play a different game.
Okay.
This one, maybe we can get. I don't know if we're fancy enough to get 60 seconds on the clock on the screen here, but I'm going to rapid fire some questions at you.
Okay.
And I want you to answer them as quick as you can, because we're gonna have a limited amount of time.
Okay.
But this is kind of to get to know your pawnbroker a little bit more. Ask some questions, and if you can let the people know a little bit more about Dan. Is it true that you are allergic to alcohol?
Yes.
Would you rather eat chocolate that tastes like poop or poop that tastes like chocolate?
Poop that tastes like chocolate.
Would you prefer if everyone called you Dan J, like John B from Outer Banks?
Absolutely.
Who's the best pawnbroker in the family?
Me.
If you weren't a pawnbroker, what would you want to be?
Psychologist.
What's your favorite movie?
Wow.
Tough one to answer quick.
Goodfellas.
Have you ever thought about opening a second location?
No.
Did you once give a loan on a box full of Portuguese flags?
Yes.
Is our time up? Because I think we should end it on that.
How did you know about that?
I did some research.
It's not public information.
I dug deep.
It's interesting. That was a bad one.
All right, so that's gonna conclude our interview here with Daniel Jaynes, Pawtucket Pawn Too. This is gonna be the part where you get to kind of plug your shop, tell the people whatever you want them to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you for the interview, Corey, by the way. First off, I want to thank, my customers, my employees, everyone that's helped get us to where we are, the community. I think one of the best parts about this store, with my competition being a corporate entity that has multiple storefronts, is the family aspect of this business. I mean, listen, no one likes to go into a bank and just be like by a teller, next. And when these people come in, all of us, we know the customers' names, we know their stories, we know what they want. So I think coming to me, it's just, especially coming in a very vulnerable situation, it's a lot easier, a lot friendlier to come here. So we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you so much.
I'd like to just tack on to that during this interview, a few customers have come in that Dan stepped away from this very important thing that he's doing, and he did help out the customers. I can hear on the other side of the wall, and he what he just said is absolutely true. If you're not going to Rhode Island Jewelry and Loan, Warwick, Rhode Island, 1181 Post Road, then I would definitely come to Pawtucket Pawn Too. I think that's a solid second choice.
In Fall River, Mass, 302 South Main Street.
I see that you had to add on your address at the end because I did that. And
Yeah.
You want people
I
to
think
know
it was
where
smart.
I think that was a smart thing of me to do. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. You're a good friend for, you're getting in there at the beginning of Corey the Pawn Guy, which I think is a smart thing to do because
I agree.
we're taking this thing to the moon. So again, thank you so much, and we really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.